And last for week 1, we have Friday, June 2nd. So this is a lower body workout. We have 2 parts. We have 4, 5, or 6 rounds, straight leg deadlift to squat, front rack squats, weighted lateral lunges, and then part 2, we have air squats. Or if you want to make it more difficult, you'll elevate your heels for reps. So they're not weighted. They're just your average regular body weight squat, or you can put your heels up on either a stack of weights or on dumbbells, and then the elevation will make it more difficult, but you're still not using any weight, okay? And that's for reps. So straight leg deadlift to squat, straight leg deadlift to squat, or you can hold the weights really however you like. You could do them on the side. So deadlift on the side, squat on the side. I typically go forward, but then you could switch to the side. However is easiest for you to hold the weights. Front rack squat just means racked at the front. And weighted lateral, multiple ways to hold the weight also. I tend to like to do this crossover method, but you could hold it here, however you'd like. And then air squat or elevated heels. So obviously air squat just means air squat. That means you just squat with no weight. Elevated heel, you can put your heels up. So all I'm doing is putting my heels on the middle bar of my dumbbell, which gives me a deeper squat, which is a little bit more difficult than just doing a regular air squat. Okay, so straight leg dead to squat. So again, if you had a kettlebell, this would look different, or you would hold it different than if you had dumbbells. Probably the easiest way is to just hold them on your side. So our deadlift, straight leg deadlift, is extremely similar, almost exact, to our swing motion because they're both hinges. So again, just to refresh your memory, the hinge is when your butt moves backward to the wall, your knees are slightly bent, your back folds because it's following your hips. So your hips are moving, your hips stop moving. That's where you want to be for your deadlift. Then you're going to stand up, okay? So your deadlift targets your hamstrings, your butt, and a little bit of your back. So this is what your straight leg deadlift would look like. Again, once your butt stops moving, your back should stop moving as well. You don't want to keep reaching after your butt already stopped, okay? So we have our straight leg deadlift. Then we have our squat. So with our squat, obviously your butt does move toward the floor. So we have our hinge, our squat, 1. Our hinge, our squat, 2, okay? And never be afraid to go slow with that straight leg deadlift and that hinge motion because it's really important to have good form. It's important to feel the pulling and the proper muscles, okay? So if you're flying through it, you might not be fully engaging. Or if you're going too fast, you might not be thinking of what muscles am I engaging, am I doing it correctly, okay? So I always do my straight leg deadlifts very, not super slow, but I do them slower than I would do my squat. Front rack squat. So this, you're going to bring the weights up to your shoulder. I typically rest like this, and you're just gonna do your squat. So squat down, up, down, up. Make sure that you try to keep your elbows up, not down here. They should be up like this. And if you need to do a full sit, you just do your sit stance. Just make sure you keep your weights exactly where they are. If you need to do tap and go, okay? And weighted lateral. So again, a couple different ways you can hold it. I prefer to hold it in my opposite hand. But what you're doing when you do a weighted lateral is your body is facing forward. You're gonna take one big step to one side. And as you do, your weight is gonna shift. So you're gonna step, and then all your weight is gonna sink to this side, okay? So my butt is going backward and diagonal, okay? So my butt is sinking back behind me, but it's also moving down and diagonal. So my butt moves back, down, diagonal, okay? That leaves all the weight on this leg. There's no weight on this toe. So I'm like this, but again, notice my feet are straight and my knee is straight. I'm not lunging to the side. My weight is moving to the side, but everything's still pointing forward. Then I press off and return. Diagonal side, return, diagonal side, return, okay? So then you're gonna take your weight. I like to put it in the opposite hand of the leg that's moving, and I kind of just reach down a little bit, up, reach down, up. Don't worry about touching the ground. Don't worry about anything. Remember, you don't want your back to get rounded. I just kind of let it sink down, up, sink down, up. Now, if that is hard enough, because that one can be tough too, because you're getting in such a deep squat that you have to push off. If that's hard enough with no weight, use no weight. At any time in this program, if I put weighted squat, weighted lunge, weighted bridge, that means there's an option to use no weight. So I wouldn't put weighted if you have to use weight. I only put weighted if you can or don't have to, okay? So you always have the option not to use weight. So that's your part one. Part two, again, either your air squat, which is just your regular squat, or you're gonna take some dumbbells, line them up, and then put your heel on the long part, the barbell part of the dumbbell, and hit your squat. So that's just creating a deeper squat for you, and it shifts what part of your quad is being focused on when you do that, okay? So that's your part two, and you're just picking between 60 and 120 reps. So whatever you wanna do, and that is week one.